blocking out background noise often.
Nice.
Says it's live streaming.
Ah, great.
Feels like a recent development with that blocking out ambient noise.
It might be.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it's steamy in Philadelphia. It is steamy here in Minneapolis too. We've had a lot of also blocking out background noise often.
All right, so we're gonna go. Look at that. 7 o'clock. 30 seconds. We're doing great. Okay, well, welcome everybody, and welcome Catherine. I'm gonna do a little quick presentation, and then we'll dig in. So I'll share my screen. Welcome everybody. Sorry if I seem a little erratic tonight. It's because of the loud noise next door. Maybe I should go to a different part of the room. Anyway, welcome. It's 7 o'clock in the Eastern time zone, and it's 4 o'clock in the Pacific, and in New Zealand and Australia, it's Saturday morning, and maybe it's late at night where you are, or anything. It's Friday night here. Welcome. It's Friday Night Comics Workshop. Yay. It's summer and you're still showing up. We really love seeing you here. I rushed to get here because I love these so much. Anyway, let's dig in. These are all out of order, I can tell already, but that's okay. So anyway, welcome to Sequential Artists Workshop. We are a nonprofit school for comics. Maybe you've heard about us. I suppose you have. You can find us at learn.sawcomics.org. We have lots of courses that you can find there at learn.sawcomics.org. So these next slides are out of order, but we have an in-person retreat starting in 2 weeks. And if you happen to be near Gainesville, Florida, that's going to be fun. Also, for what it's worth, this is, again, these slides are out of order, so it's random, but I have a book that I've just edited coming out soon, The Field Guide to Graphic Literature. I'll tell you more about that some other day. Coming soon, we are hoping that if you're a good candidate for the certificate program, that you'll reach out and talk to us about it, because it's a great program. We'd love to see you in it. It's
Great program.
All the skills, thanks, Michael, all the skills you need. Next week in this slot, we have Dana Jerry Mayer. I always have a hard time pronouncing that, even though she's a good friend of mine. And she's going to do comics about museums. So I can also tell you that also in Gainesville, we're going to have Tommy Parrish in October. So I hope you'll be interested in coming to that. I'll give a quick shout out to the courses in the year-long program. There are 13 courses. We get great successes. We get great testimonials. I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to click over them, and then we're going to move on. So SAW survives from tuitions and donations. And if you've donated tonight, we really appreciate it. It keeps these free for everybody, and it keeps us paying the artists. Thank you. And there's lots of ways to support us. You can see it on the screen. You can become a sustaining member donor, and talk more about that later. Please, no inappropriate speech or imagery, no trolling or hate speech. Keep it PG-13, please. Please share tonight on social media, hashtag Friday Night Comics or at Comics Workshop. Oh my God, we just got a Threads account, whatever. So we're also at members.sawcomics.org. You can find us there, and we share things in a little more depth there. We'd love to see you there. Enjoy. Yay, it's Katherine Woodman-Maynard. Catherine's been such a great friend of SAW and such a great asset, and you've just helped so many people with your great wisdom and us. And I'm so glad that you're here finally to give a Friday night workshop. I think you haven't done one before.
No, thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. I've attended ones, so it's fun to host.
Hooray. So what we'll do, and Michael's here to assist me if I get caught up in this party business over there, is I'm going to spotlight you, and when you want us to spotlight your drawing area, that, and in general, I'm going to mute myself, but I'm going to rising what people say in the chat, and I hear something in the chat that you might be interested in, I'll let you know, but otherwise I'll let you go to it. Okay.
Great. Yeah, and I'm not going to be reading the chat while I'm talking, so don't think I'm ignoring you if you're putting things in there. Tom will tell me if it's.
I'll be reading it. Yep.
Yeah. So let me. And then Tom, once you're, I mean, you'll probably do this, but there is background noise when you're talking. So when you're not, just to mute from the cool party that's going on. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay.
And get started. So yeah, thank you everyone. this is me, Katherine Woodman-Maynard. I publish under K Woodman-Maynard. I'm based in Minneapolis. I am, maybe 80% of my time is doing graphic novels, 20% graphic design at this point. My debut book was a graphic novel adaptation of The Great Gatsby, which Candlewick Press published. Just going to show you just a couple pages so you can get a sense of my work. I draw digitally and then print my line art onto watercolor paper and then watercolor by hand, which is a process I really enjoy. And my stuff is kind of more figurative, a little more metaphorical than a lot of comics are. So this topic for tonight on patterns and motifs, this is kind of like an example in Gatsby where I sort of use the motif of the rotting fruit, which you see in the foreground of the left page, and kind of use it and bring it into a transition into the other page, or the flower around the kissing people is another kind of example of that. I have a couple books out in submission, a YA historical romance that I'm working on with a friend who's a writer, Nicole Kronzer, and then a graphic memoir. And then I'm working on a secret project, which is another adaptation, which just the publisher hasn't let me announce at this point, but this is a page from it. So I'm just showing you this to give you a sense of my work, but I haven't had a lot of comics training. I've just done a couple workshops for CCS and have just spent a ton of time making comics. I'm kind of a slow learner, so I've spent a lot of time trying to share what I've learned on social media to save other people time, because I feel like I always learn things the hard way, and maybe I can save other people from doing that. So we'll get started. The goal is a 1 to 4 panel comic using a pattern or motif about a holiday. I just chose holiday as a theme because it's something where I feel like patterns kind of easily work with a holiday because there's so many strong visuals generally, but you could also do a diary comic. I will probably do a diary comic myself, but I'm just using holiday as an example, and really as many panels as you want, but just putting 1 to 4 as a guide. What I mean by pattern is just kind of filling in the panel borders that you would normally keep white with some sort of design. So this is one I made recently about the 4th of July. And, it's not technically a pattern around the outside, like it's not repeating, which I think generally a pattern should be, but I'm loose in my definition of it. So, in this case, I was working berries into the background because the comic is about pies. Often I just draw a comic first, and then I often end up adding in patterns when I don't think the comic is very good, if I'm honest. So I'm like, how can I make this better? And so sometimes it's like spot blacks, and other times it's like, oh, I'll add in a pattern. And then it just becomes more exciting. So this is a comic I did about my husband, who's an ultra runner. And so, before it was fine. And then I added in the patterns of all these different, running stuff, because there's so much stuff related to running: shoes, medals, electrolytes, food, whatever. So often using patterns to kind of bring out themes that are already in the comic is usually what I do, or it could be like in contrast. So if the comic was about one thing, maybe you do it sort of ironically, or in some, put some other content into the pattern. Another way I use patterns is if a page has a lot of text. So this is a page from my graphic memoir, and I have this pattern around the top, and then it's kind of coming apart to represent kind of some of my experience with a family member with bipolar disorder. And so I find patterns are just a nice way to make it more visually interesting. This is somebody else's work that I found at the library, and I just loved how they did patterns here around the various things. And here's some ideas for patterns if you do want to repeat, just kind of various ways. Wallpaper is always a good example of patterns, but really whatever you want to do. And then I sort of did motifs as well. I don't know if that was a good idea to combine, but what I think of as a motif is I usually have some sort of visual element, and I create the comic within or around it. So like this, I took kind of elements of the American flag and put drawings within it. So sort of used it as panel borders in a unique way. And usually I draw out that first, the in this case, the flag, and then I drew in elements of my 4th of July within the flag. So here's another example of a page with a lot of text. It's about a scientific study that involved cherry blossoms and mice. And so I just drew a big cherry blossom tree, and then it's filled with a lot of text about that. So that's just another, again, way to use if you have a lot of text on a page, instead of cramming it with a bunch of different comics panels, kind of making one big page and then putting the text within the art. This is Mimi Pond, whose work I just love. On her Instagram, she posts things from this Mitford sisters book, which are these wild aristocratic women who led like insane lives around World War II. And so this is an example, like she uses a shield and puts the comic within the shield, or she uses the teapots and writes the text around it. So that's kind of the idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a holiday or, a diary comic, whatever you want to do. And well, I guess I should pause and say, does anyone have any questions about that?
I'll mention real quick, Catherine, that Laura in the chat said that she did a search on July 14th alone, and it's Bastille Day, Pandemonium Day, National Macaroni and Cheese Day, National Motorcycle Day, National Nude Day, and Shark Awareness Day. So
many options. I should have mentioned Bastille Day. Yeah, totally. So yeah, we have so many options if you can't think of a holiday or like birthday, or I'm probably going to do a diary comic. So so let's just spend like 1 minute, and we're going to just think about what we're going to do it on.
Right.
And I'm going to use Helga, my timer, but I put her on vibrate so you don't have to hear the horrible noise. But I'm a big fan of Helga. She helps me take breaks. Okay, that's a minute. So that'll just, give you an idea of what the topic will be. And then I'm going to give just 2 minutes to make a list of kind of visuals that you think would go with that holiday or subject. And so, holidays often lend themselves well because of things like decorations, food and beverage, clothing. You could talk about weather. Nature is always good to work in various ways. So those are just some ideas. So just this is kind of just the thought generation thing.
So this is 2 minutes. Is that what you said?
Yep.
And this is only words right now, just a list.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to start planning out your comic, that's fine too.
Okay, well, thanks. Great.
Yeah.
And I'm writing out that slide in the chat for people if we're going to miss it later.
That's 2 minutes.
All right. And what's the name of your timer?
Helga.
Helga. Okay. Thank you.
It's really Helga 2. My cat destroyed Helga 1 and has not yet gotten to Helga 2. So then, I mean, you might have already been thinking about this, just choosing the type of comic that you want to do. So, you know, drawing a comic first and adding the pattern afterwards, or draw a motif, or, you know, like figure out the motif. So if you know, Mimi Pond, she has this bookshelf and these two people. So I'm assuming she drew the books first and then wrote the text in afterwards. That's kind of the method I would do. Whereas with a comic, I often just do the comic and then I add in the pattern around the outside. So yeah, just choose those, maybe just like a minute for that. You can start thinking about your comic. I know I wrote 2 minutes on the slide, but I think just a minute's enough.
Very cool. Cool options.
That's it.
Somebody's doing National Tape Measure Day. Somebody else is doing summer solstice, which is a great idea. All these are great ideas.
Awesome. That's great. So then next is just making your comic. So these are just some possible ideas, like using a specific memory about a holiday. I mean, some of these holidays sound just funny. In general, it doesn't have to be your own personal, well, I guess your own personal experience with the tape measure. I want to hear that. Strong feeling about a holiday is always a good, you know, like if you had a really bad holiday, really good holiday, that's always good. And sense memories can just be nice too. So these are just possible ideas in case you're stuck. So I was thinking like 15 minutes. Does that seem right, Tom?
Yeah, that seems about right. So maybe Helga can remind us 5 minute intervals.
Sure, I'll put her on for 5 minutes.
Right?
I can put on, you can actually hear the real Helga, put on the full volume.
Oh, great.
Yep, lucky you. Cool. And I'm gonna be quiet during this, but if anyone has questions, you know, put it in
What
the
are we
chat.
gonna, and you're gonna spotlight your
Yeah, I don't know how to spotlight it,
I
but
can do that.
okay.
Once you get started, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll remove the spotlight. Oops, and now I'll spotlight. Oops, I have to stop sharing. There we go. Great. So, well, Catherine, what are you going to be doing at Comic-Con?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. And everyone else you can mention in the chat, or you can keep us in suspense.
Mine's gonna be about my experience with this workshop.
National apprehension about a workshop day.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Just trying to get this kind of working.
Great. And I'll post for people who are just coming in, I'll post the 4 steps that you wrote out again. people are definitely liking that template also.
Oh yeah, I just printed out 4 rectangles on a thicker piece of paper and cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And this fits my journals that I do my diary comics in. And I noticed that when I have a template, just drawing the 4 boxes, I'm more likely to actually make art than if I don't have a template. I don't know, just when those 4 boxes are there, I'm like, gotta do it, gotta fill it in. So yeah, I need to come up with some different layouts though.
No, if it's working, it's working.
Well, sometimes I want to just do a 2 panel, whatever.
Catherine, I just realized I have a question. Watching you draw fast made me realize that the 15-minute comic, is that's including our pattern if we're going to include a pattern, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we should be sort of burning through it like you're burning through it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Sorry, that was just, and the rest is comic time. Yeah, so you gotta include your pattern or motif if you're
Yeah, right. A little bit different if you're drawing inside a motif. Cool.
right. Oh, and there's our 5-minute Helga.
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
Thank you. Like a big saw cookie in that panel.
It's a heart.
Yeah, no, I mean a
Yes.
hot cookie, like a giant.
A giant cookie. I like the idea of a saw cookie. I don't know if you all can read what I'm working on.
Yeah. Boy, wouldn't it be a gift if we could get some Catherine to watercolor in the.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to do. That
Oh,
was,
really?
thanks for reminding me.
Oh, wow.
That
Okay.
was my goal. But I don't usually watercolor the same time. Like, I don't know if my stuff will bleed, because usually I do diary comics at night, and then I in the next day I'll watercolor it like as a warm up for my work day. And so I
Oh,
might
that's
bleed. So we'll see.
a great idea to get yourself warmed up by finishing something from the night before. That's amazing.
Yeah, and then I experiment with different colors and different things, and then they just look so much better with color. Sort of like, oh, how can I make this better? It's like color, patterns, spot
Right.
blacks.
We like the hacks here.
Yeah.
Love how alive that black made it.
Yeah. One of my, how can I make this better? Paper stupid.
Oh my gosh, Catherine is scanning it already.
Oh no.
Oh,
I didn't want, it was too big of a page. I didn't want to make that much pattern. So I was just chopping it. It's my paper cutter.
oh, nice. Helga must have gone off again. Do we have just 5 minutes or what?
26 seconds, she says.
Okay, and 5 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah. Mhm. So I don't think I'm going to get to watercoloring.
Oh my gosh, look at all those eyes. Ah. At first I thought you were just drawing in the margins, and now
Judgment. That's my if you're drawing in front of other people.
So good.
We got 5 more minutes.
All right. You recognize your own eyes on there, anybody? Go ahead and mention it in the chat.
No, at the point I was trying to make it so
No.
that they're like nicer near the end.
Oh, yeah, I see this
That's-
one.
Now, I think I need smiles to, I think we have to have. Makes me realize I really don't have a lot of range in eye drawing.
It's so hard. It's so hard. Most of us fall into a pattern of 1 or 2 types.
Yeah, it's funny.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna try to add watercolor real quick.
Gosh, wonderful.
I think it's gonna bleed though. Yeah, this is probably more fun. Oh man, I didn't even get patterns on the inside. Oh well. This is hard.
I think it looks great with the color, Kat. Oh, Nikki's off to get the glitter.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for that. One minute and a half. I don't know. We can give people more time too. If we
I think
think.
what tends to happen is that people who finish early will share, and other people will be finishing up around that time.
Got it.
Allison says more time. We'll
It's
see.
hard with the pattern too. Like I didn't really calculate how much time the pattern would take. Like,
Oh, and you're adding 2 colors.
so sloppy.
It's proof of concept.
Yep, there we go.
It looks great. It's nice to see people who watercolor. It's nice to see how they do it and how they act under pressure and stuff. Because a lot of us don't color analog anymore, to be honest. And it's just so nice to see. How does it work?
It's so fun. I mean, I would not say this is my typical, I'm a little more precise generally, but I'm not particularly precise as a creator. I feel like I'm more loose. I have to work to be more precise, but we've got 8 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. Boom. Cool. We all.
What a great concept. Looks terrific. It really came together. Look at that angry face in the upper left. Oh, so spooky and angry.
So should we get started with sharing?
Well,
I don't know if people can.
It was fast. Let's see if anyone's ready. If anybody's ready, raise your Zoom hand. And Catherine, you and I should try and raise our Zoom hands as well. Although, like I said, Zoom has been lowering them automatically. It's been really annoying.
Do I just raise my hand? Is that
No, it's under reactions at the bottom. If you're on a desktop, I think you're on a desktop. If it's
yeah. Great. Well, I can read mine while people are raising
sure,
their-
and then we'll go to Vic and then Beth, and then we
Probably
after that,
everyone.
we'll probably get some people coming in.
So yeah, mine is, I may seem confident and poised, but really I'm terrified about drawing in front of others. But I suppose I need to get more comfortable with it. And SAW is a nice and supportive place to do it. So I like really never draw in front of people. And Tom was like, people love seeing you draw. And I'm like, and I hear this from all my friends and I want to do more school visits. So I was like, I will do it and it will be okay. I'm gonna like move this aside. Just ooh. So yeah, let's go through people's
I know it's crazy, but I'm going to ask you to raise your Zoom hand again. It might just disappear. I don't know how to get out of that. But so we'll go to Vic, Beth, Alan, and then Nikki. So we'll start with Vic and we'll spotlight Vic. Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
So I finished very quickly. But it's sort of, I don't know, I didn't do like a typical panel. I did sort of more like a 2-page sketchbook comic almost. So it says, every time Halloween comes around, I never know what to be. Each year I get closer to just being a ghost. And there's me pondering, and there's some ghosts all around me.
I love it. Oh, that's great. And the movement of the ghost. And I like the detail.
I like one that's sitting down.
Yeah, just they're kind of like got a funny angle. And I like the pumpkin detail is really nice.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
great, Vic. Thanks so much. We have Beth next. I'm going to ask Beth to unmute.
Yep.
Beth.
Hi.
Beth.
The lighting's not the best. Okay, let's see if we got here. Can you see it okay?
Yeah, sort of.
So yeah, what I did sort of the motif idea because I was at the library today and I thought, okay, well, this says all the amazing comics and this is like an open book with magical things coming out of it. And then I just kind of captured, and I'm going to go back and draw some more things, but some of the things that I saw and learned today when I was in the comics collection. Number one for me of which was this little bit down here, which is that my book is cataloged by the Library of Congress with a call number that begins with the letters RC, which is internal medicine.
Huh.
So
They
there you
really
have
were
that.
preaching. They just ran out of all the I and
know.
M were taken.
I just thought that was amazing. But anyway, so it's just a little way to, I love the idea. I got it from the shield that you showed of like having one big image and then maybe other things moving around it and kind of like little magical symbols around it.
Yeah, that's great. I love books. I also feel like work so well for like a symbol. I mean, that's also why I showed the Mimi pun, but like the pages opening of a book is always such a magical feeling. And that's, yeah, it looks great. I love it. And how exciting that you got to go.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
Thanks, Beth.
Nice. Thanks, Beth.
Yep.
Okay, we will go to Ellen next. Let me replace Spotlight. Ellen, if you want to share, we can share this week.
Okay, yeah, if you don't mind. Oops.
Yeah, option. There you go.
Okay, yeah, so I combined two of the holidays, and mine just kind of silly, but oh well. July 14th is Shark Awareness Day. Sharks often get a bad rap, so let's take some time to appreciate sharks in all their variety. July 14th is also International Nude Day, which makes sense because sharks are always naked. So I don't know, just kind of silly, but that's what I came up with. So
Right. I love it's such a complete comic. It's awesome. And it's so surprising the switch, you kind of think it's all going to be about sharks with the pattern. And then so we got the nudist in there. And then you conclude with the shark who's embarrassed. That's brilliant. And I love the pattern of the ocean and the sharks. It's well done.
Awesome, Eileen. Thank you. See you next time. All right, and here's Nikki. We'll ask Nikki to unmute. Place spotlight.
Hello, I've chosen to do Matariki, which is happening now. It's Matariki weekend in New Zealand, which is the Māori New Year. So it's a lunar New Year, so I've got lots of stars, and also birthdays, because it's my birthday and my nephew's birthday and one of our Al-Anon ladies' birthdays. So I'll turn this into a card for them, which is so cool. So thank you very much. So I've got here, our birthday's coming up soon. Yep. We should make it a national holiday. Yep. Then everyone can celebrate the wonderment of us. Oh, yep. Sounds like a plan. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
I
my
love the
Thank you very
smug,
much. That was fun.
the smug little smiles on like they should make it a national holiday. It just looks so perfect, smug, and the sparkles and are they little rosettes on there? I can't quite. Or
little cakes.
Cakes. Nice. That's great. Yeah, I had never thought about using sparkles before. That's exciting. That will definitely be one I can't do in bed while I do my next day edition. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Nikki. Thank you. Hi, Barbara.
Thank you.
What are you next?
Yeah, and happy birthday. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I was thinking about do something that about a holiday that happens in Brazil. So there's I think I can call season here. We call São João or Festa Junina. It begins in June and ends about August in some places. So I was inspired by a song that my mom used to sing when I was a child, and there was a balloon. It's illegal to do that, but it's related to the season for some reason. And there's a balloon and a little bit of rain, but the sky is pretty and the life is good. And the motif is like that because in some places, like in the southeast, there's the place I live. People used to put shirts like that and put some piece of cloth, and that's why this panel has this kind of things. I forgot the word in English. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure either, but I like the grid pattern in the background. It reminds me a little of like city streets, like if you're looking down like a map almost. That would be a cool background too, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. It sounds like a cool holiday.
Yeah.
The food is very, very appreciated.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barbara. All right, we'll go to Endel next. Let's see. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, how you going? It's actually, I'm Endel, but this is Luca doing the drawing. We just
Hi,
thought we'd
Luca.
your party. We saw it on Eventbrite, so we thought we'd just jump in.
Great.
It's
Yay. I'm glad you're here. I'd love to see what you did.
Saturday morning over here, but
Oh, yeah.
so you can explain it. I'll let Luca explain it.
I love motorbikes, so I did National Motorbike Day, and there's a helmet over here, and there's little guys saying, one saying, "What's your bike called?" and the other guy's saying, "The Toot King."
Awesome. And then what's the next one?
I did a bike chain over the word motorbike, and I did a little road going down into sunset.
Nice. I like all the different motorbike elements that you worked in, like the chain and the helmet and the road. That's really clever to do. And I like the movement and everything. It looks great. That's really cool. Do you have a motorbike?
Yeah, I have an electric motorbike in my room.
Oh, lucky you. Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Luca. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Luca. Take a look at the chat. People are saying very cool.
Yeah, the bike chain. Yeah.
Go
You're
to
getting
Alex.
compliments in the chat.
And then Marlene. Oh,
Hey.
Ooh.
All right, I'll share mine. I decided to go with the motif idea. And in honor of funnily enough, my mom and I were talking about Bastille Day earlier today, and in honor of Bastille Day, I'm making a souffle tonight. And as a result, I did tonight's dinner menu.
Ooh.
So here it is. I was looking up old French dinner menus on Pinterest while some of the discussion and drawing was going on. That's why I was freaking out about the time. And je peux parler un peu le français, but I did have to look up stuff on Google Translate for this. So our dinner menu for the celebration of July 14th is going to just be a spinach souffle and branzino fillets. And one of the things that I noticed on the old dinner menus that I found online was that they often featured illustrations of the food or just people hanging out alongside the menu descriptions. And one featured a bunch of little chefs running around. So I drew myself preparing the souffle, cooking the branzino, and then finally at the end, I have me in front of the dinner table and
Vive la
my
France.
plate saying "Vive la France et bon appétit." And that's it.
That's adorable. I love it.
Thank
That's
you.
so clever to do the menu. Like, yeah. And then use that as a framing device. That's a really good way. And I like the little drawings of the food. They actually kind of remind me of things I've seen on menu, like that style. So I think you really captured that, and sounds delicious.
Thank you.
lucky you and your mom. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
have a great celebration, Allison.
Merci.
Dorian. Marlene next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Right. Mine is a little different because I am doing a comic on going bush in Australia. And this family is visiting Kahunia, who is a magical woman and has powers of the spiritual realm, standing next to her nephew. And so he's in strife because he happened to disturb they revere serpents, the Aboriginals. And so it's a vengeance taking place. They are looking for him and want to kill him. And so I've used some patterning at the back of the Aboriginal symbols. This one over here is the footprints of a kangaroo going towards this structure over here, which is a gathering of people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And eventually they are sitting around in a circle. There are about 8 people in the circle, and it's about to rain.
Wow.
And so they need to travel from here to there, through the storm, to another meeting. And then eventually, these are meetings as well, little meetings, they're all going that way. This will be the symbol for a man. Hang on, let me have a look. Yeah, these are 3 men joining them and 1 woman.
Wow.
There's one line for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I put it in, but anyway, so a double line is for men and 1 line would be for a woman. And so these are the serpents hunting for them. 1 serpent is looking to the left, the other to the right in search of Ninya, who is in strife. He's got his spear ready to fight. And this is him running across the Northern Territory away from everybody. This red mountain is Uluru. You may have heard of Uluru in the background. And so I leave it to your imagination whether he gets away or not.
Wow, that's amazing. I love all the detail and the story that goes on in the border. I love when you see this more in picture books. Like Jan Brett is a picture book author that does this, where it kind of foreshadows things. But I really like the footprints. That's a really cool idea that I can using. Yeah,
actually, it's amazing that you noticed the footprints.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you also told us about the kangaroo prints and stuff, but yeah.
These are the kangaroo footprints, and these are the human footprints.
This is great. Thank you so much. This is awesome. And your watercolor, I was like, wow, you got stuff done.
It was a rush.
Thanks, Marlene.
Thank you.
We'll go to Shay next, and then Becky, then Laura, then Jackie. It's a good reminder to remind people to post on Instagram or any other social media. We'd love to see what you do.
Yeah, and tag me on it too.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put that back in the chat. Shay, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to my thing.
Oh, great.
Decided to do Halloween.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I saw this comic again, probably with the same concept, but I kept thinking about it, so which goes up like a lot of media for it. Worried a bit, out of gas, and there she goes.
Awesome. Love it. I mean, that's great in terms of the like keeping the consistent pose, really good use of when, so that drop has more effect than if you kind of changed your shot angles and stuff. Keeping it the same was great. I couldn't really see, did you use any kind of patterns or was that kind of in the background? I couldn't quite tell. No worries if you didn't.
Oh, I think Shay is now permanently muted.
Okay.
But I think there were some stars in the background as well.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you, Shay. Thank you so much. We'll go to Becky next, then Laura, and then Jackie. And then we'll see if Jamie did some sharks.
Here. Oh, okay. Can you see it? Oh,
we did.
Sorry. There I am. All right, here we go. Here's mine. So I looked up holidays and my horoscope popped up, which was a little strange. So I did my horoscope, which was what I did. July 14th. It's backwards. So I can read it.
The stars align in your favor today as your sense of adventure and fearlessness leads you to new heights.
I thought it was so good.
That's so
I drew me running up a hill, and yeah, it was perfect because I was so nervous. This is my first saw drawing thing, and I haven't drawn comics in so long that it made me super, super happy.
Wow.
So
this is great. And you embrace your optimistic adventurer spirit.
Yeah, it was all round circle. So I felt really good. So
that's great. And the grayscale is really nice. And the line art, I can't tell you haven't done comics for a while. It looks like a pro. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome, Becky. Thank you and welcome.
Horoscopes would be, has anyone done that for a workshop?
No, I don't think so, weirdly.
That would be a really funny workshop to draw your horoscope.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to Laura now.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
So I did summer, and I love summer fruits and vegetables. So I drew myself at the farmer's market. And then I drew some of my favorite things, which include corn and its best friends, butter and dill. And then watermelons, little pal, lime. Happy summer, everybody.
And what's the pattern looked like? It's checkered or
like a picnicky tablecloth.
Yeah.
I may extend it.
Yeah. I like the pattern also, like it works well with the circular kind of elements of the different fruit and stuff. And yeah, I think plant, like vegetables and fruit do so well for this type of thing, because you just have so many visuals you can go with it, and the colors are just great. The pastels. Really
Oh,
nice.
thank you. What
Thank
fun. Great workshop. Thank you.
Good, thanks.
Laura, thanks for that great list too. We'll go to Jackie. A bunch of people are popping their hands up now, so I think they're finishing in the past couple of minutes. Host Helga.
I chose Halloween and I chose a motif. They told me that I should find some seasonal work, but they never specified what season. So I got a job at a haunted house. I love this gig. It's fun to scare people for money.
Oh my gosh.
And here's, I cheated a little bit. I guess I went on my phone and I found a couple of the characters that people did, but I got some other stuff that they have, like with their props, the cockroaches. I mean, it's very much you got to pay a lot of money to get in there. So I mean, it's like you're really discouraged from like going like boo or get out. Like you really have to work at it. So
wow. Those are great, and I really like the bleeding eyes, and then all the faces are so spooky. Like the different textures that you did, I think really increases that, and the use of red, and yeah, this is just great. And the little beetles along the top. Wow.
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches. That's thank you. This is wonderful.
Great, Jackie. And it's not cheating getting reference.
No, yeah, I was gonna say reference isn't cheating.
Cool. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll go to Di. Tell me if that's fine. There we go. Are you able to unmute? It should be able.
Yep, just now. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm also from Australia, and it's great to see that there are a number of Australians on board. And thank you also for setting up the time so that it's not 5 in the morning, but it was 9 a.m., which was a good time Saturday morning. This is I've never done comics before, so this is my first attempt.
Oh, I'm honored.
I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, no, thank you so much for providing this platform.
Yeah,
So,
I can't read it. I don't know if you can read it, the text in the comics. Can you?
oh, is it back to front?
No, it's forward.
okay.
It's just a little bit far.
It's just foggy. It's just blurry. Can you see that,
So-
Tom?
I can see panel 2 pretty well. The idea is to no.
No, I'll
Maybe.
read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
So today I'm working on an exhibition proposal,
There we go.
and there's a light bulb. I wonder if it's the lens.
You can just read
Anyway,
it to us. Yeah, it was like this for other people too. Some of them
Ah.
blurrier.
the idea is to bring community together. It's a feel-good project, so it's with friends, pets, family, and then it's just get on with it. Start working on it. So that's meant to be a hand and a pen. Didn't look quite like it, but anyway. And I followed your layout because I couldn't think of any other layout. Now looking at it, it's not quite right, but
It's great.
thank you for the idea of how to lay it out. And I couldn't think of, I just did circles and stars and just to say these are my ideas that are bubbling in my head.
Yeah,
So
it
it's very
feels
simple.
Yeah, they feel like ideas though. They feel creative or like generation doodles, but something more sparky because I think they're kind of separate. So I feel like it does that where it adds to the theme of the comic, and the color choices are really nice too. Like is that a highlighter that you're using?
Yeah, highlighter.
Yeah, it totally works. There's something really
Also
nice. Yeah, it like pops, and yeah, and that's so cool that this is your first comic. That's great. Yeah, well done. Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. I love all the Australians too. This is so cool. Is that always this way, Tom? Like
It's usually 1 or 2, not 4 or 5. So,
yeah, word is spreading.
yeah, word is spreading. So we'll go to Chris next, then Michael. Let's see. Here's Chris.
Okay, mine's fairly simple. I tried to have a pattern, but it's just the hearts everywhere. I'll explain in a minute. I wanted to follow my dreams, but I felt so discouraged. Then I remembered it's National Day of Encouragement. and pats on the back began raining from the sky. And then people just started complimenting each other. You're doing great. No, you're fantastic. And then the last panel is, now we feel like we can face anything.
Oh my gosh, I love the pats falling from the sky. It's just so funny and so kind of creepy too, which is great. On you around, patting you on the back. And I think you're adding color to the hearts at the end is a nice touch, you know, to kind of show the transition of the mood, which is what I was trying to do with my eyes. Like I wanted my eyes to be negative at first to moving to nice, but I didn't quite make that. But that's yeah, color is a good way to do that. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks.
You're great. You're fantastic.
Love that.
So are you.
Thanks, Chris. All right, Michael.
I'm going to share my screen, if that's okay, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't get very far, and I wanted to do a diary comic about visiting my dad last weekend, who basically reminded me of all my failures in life. So I did the swords and then shields, because everything is a fucking battle with. Sorry. Can you bleep that out in post? Everything is a gosh darn battle with my father.
Yeah. I think the shields and the weapons work really well with that. And I feel like you could, even if you wanted to do more, you could almost do one in the center too, you know, like if you wanted to overlap the different ones, because it kind of almost feels like a tapestry or something. And I like the parallel poses. I mean, it is sort of one of those eerie things when you see your parents and you're like, oh, wow, we look a lot alike. But yeah, the different ways of drawing. That's great. Really cool. Sorry you had that though too.
Oh, thanks for looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that some more, Michael. Thanks so much. Is it but next we'll go to Mila, or is it Mila? And then after that, Edgar, then after that, Mishka. If Mila's ready, we will let them come on, or Mila. Oh, there we go.
Actually, can I go after Edgar?
Sure, we'll go to Edgar now.
Thank you.
There we go. Edgar, you ready? Are you
sure? Yes, let me unmute. And I chose the Christmas holidays, and I have 4 panels. This is the Russell family Santa Claus letters. And I have a lot of text, so if you need to stop me, I don't blame you. Unlike most families, we put cookies and eggnog on, like most families, we put cookies and eggnog on the mantle for Santa. Unlike most families, Santa wrote us a thank you note in red colored pencil. At first, Santa wrote his thank you note on the napkin we left with the eggs and cookies. Enlarged for clarity, Christmas 1960, dear Edgar and Fraser, thank you for the eggnog and cookies. They were delicious. I hope you like your presents. See you next Christmas. Love, Santa. As the years progressed, the letters became more complicated. In 1969, our dad suggested leaving a shot of Canadian Club whiskey for Santa along with the cookies. Christmas 1969. Dear Edgar and Fraser, thank you for the Canadian Club and cookies. They were delicious. This year, Edgar attended Granby Wrestling Camp and Fraser studied photography. Hope you like your presents. Love, Santa. Even after Edgar III and Fraser left home, our father continued writing the annual Santa Claus letters. Christmas 1977. Dear Edgar and Fraser, thank you for the Canadian Club. It was delicious. This year, with Edgar in Rapid City as a missile launch officer and Fraser at New York University, I had to leave your presents at different locations. I hope you like them. See you next year. Love, Santa. And then finally, in 2004, our father died, but that was no reason to stop writing the Santa Claus letters. Christmas 2004. Dear Edgar and Fraser and Stephanie, that was Fraser's wife, this year, like 2000, when you lost your mom, Jean, this year you lost your father, Ed. They both loved you very much. I hope you like your presents. See you next year. Love, Santa. The Santa Claus letters continue to this day, written by Edgar III. One year, there were two, as Fraser wanted to write one. So that's the story of the Santa Claus letters. And the last thing I'll say is at the top of the Christmas tree every year was the bald-headed angel. And I'll have to tell you that story another day.
That's
so thank you
great.
very much.
Wow, that's so touching. I like teared up at the end when the father passed away, but it still continued. And I liked the parallel using the same kind of format and the napkin being the same position, sort of showing the continuation. And I hope you share that with your family. I think it would be really a cool thing to show them.
I appreciate it. I will do that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's great.
Thank you for the prompt. So it was terrific.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Edgar. Okay, now we'll go to Mishka and then Hang after that, and then Troy and then Jamie.
Did we lose Mila?
Oh, I'll go scouting for them.
Okay, great. All right, here we go. Oh, it's backwards, so I have to read it over here. So my holiday is Buddha's birthday, where they decorate all the temples with beautiful strings of lanterns. So most of my time drawing was spent making lanterns. Sorry, I'm trying to get my thing open so I can read it because it's backwards.
You want me to read it?
Can you guys read it? That's so weird that
unlike most of the temples in Korea, Hainsa was not.
I'll read it. I have it
Okay,
open.
you got it. Okay.
Yeah. Unlike most of the temples in Korea, Hansa was not decked out in bright, colorful lanterns for Buddha's birthday. It famously houses 81,350 wooden printing blocks for the Tripitaka Koreana, all the scriptures, since 1398 in an open-air library. Hilariously, they spent millions on a new library in the 80s, but mold began to appear on the blocks, so they hurriedly put the blocks back where they'd been unharmed for centuries. I asked a nice monk if I could stay there while my friends went on to Busan without me. He took pity on me and let me have his room in the dorms. I woke up in the middle of the night to pee. The temple bell rang and the moon was full. I've never felt so at peace as I did then.
Wow, that is so cool. I would never have thought to use the lanterns as I've used lanterns actually in Gatsby to as panel borders, to separate things, but I would never have thought to use it and actually include the comics on it. That's so cool. And the colors and the story is just all the little details, like the details about the year and the numbers and the mold. That's really cool. Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing story and a beautiful temple, and other people, they let you actually stay there now. So I recommend people go.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to Ang, and then we're going to look for Mila, and then we'll go to Troy.
Hi. I'm so amazed by all the talent every time I join these.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's so cool. So I kind of did a template of a online shopping cart. I picked Valentine's Day. So these are all the gifts that I'm getting friends. I'm very much a person whose love language is gift giving. So I like to pick very particular specific gifts. So Baby Yoda for my friend who's into The Mandalorian now. Box of chocolates, specifically nut free because my friend cannot have nuts. Easy to maintain bouquet of flowers because my friend kills flowers the instant they touch them, and an encouragement card and $20 gift card to Domino's. I kind of was I was messing around with it a little bit more too because I was inspired by this poem by Ocean Vuong, which is much sadder than this, about shopping lists. And I think the double-edged sword with Valentine's Day too is as much as I love giving gifts, I also kind of question my love language and if it's ever enough. So I also added for a pattern little pop-up ads, like the ones you get before you close out your cart. And it kind of has questions do you want to get more? Are you loving people enough? can you like really love someone? Do you know how to love people? So those pop-up ads are kind of like bothering me simultaneously while I'm trying to express love in this way. And I feel like that kind of captures how commercialized Valentine's Day can get sometimes. So yeah.
That's so funny. The also like your own questions turned into ads, like is such a clever way to do it. I also like the price tags is kind of like, you know, you're kind of going down the list and you're like, oh, that's so sweet, so considerate. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's a cost to all this. And it really does add up, which I felt like was a smart kind of way to balance the I don't know. Yeah, it captures what you're saying, the double-edged sword of the holiday of Valentine's Day.
Really love that.
Yeah, great.
Thanks, Hank.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll go to Troy next.
Hey, Troy. We did Rob Clow's history
That's
of comics class
right.
together.
That's
Nice to
right.
see you.
Hello again.
Hello.
Good to see you. Wonderful workshop. This has been amazing. Sorry, I've got a message here that's distracting me.
Pop up.
Are you lucky enough?
About your
The host has spotlighted your video for everyone. Would you like to unmute your microphone to speak? Am I muting?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to show us your art?
Yes, I do. So I took a different meaning of the word holiday. I actually was thinking of a holiday that I once went on many years ago to Venezuela. And it's like a little travel diary, captured a moment, a very memorable moment there. And the motif is a pipeline that runs all the way through the cartoon, just like it runs all the way through the country. And the little story, it's a conversation I had with a guy I was staying with who lived in Venezuela. And I say, we're in the car and I'm saying, what are all those white crosses by the roadside? And he says, that's where people died. There are lots of car accidents here in Venezuela. And it's all because of cows. Cows? I ask. Yeah. When they nationalized oil, they stopped farming. So they let the cows roam free. And so the cars hit the cows. Yeah. And people die. Cows are murderers. I just saw some graffiti on the pipeline blaming the cows. And that's it.
Wow. That's so kind of spooky and profound.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Also just like such a statement on like, I don't know, society. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Like, we don't need these cows anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And the pipe is not such a nice, simple way to go,
yeah.
to lead the eye and to go through. And yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Really cool. Thanks so much, Troy.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Okay.
Thanks again.
We'll go to Christina next, and then we'll finish with Jamie. Oh, lots of color.
All right.
Another shark.
So I did Shark Awareness Day. I had just found this in a free bucket. It's a rubber stamp of a porthole, and I can't wait to use it, except I don't have a print pad that big.
Yeah.
So I went with the porthole and I went with the sharks. So it says, again, backward. We live here too. We existed before you. We existed here in the ocean before you. We have excellent eyesight. I was searching online for all these little fun facts. We reproduce in different ways, depending on our species. And then we are not always the bad guys. There was this news article that popped up online this week of a sea otter that was stealing surfboards and like taking these giant bites out of it. And they were like, there was this cute little otter, but they're not so cute when they steal the surfboards. And so it's not always the whales that's the bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the circles as the, using the portholes really clever, but then continuing that in other ways.
And I thought my blue marker was a little paler than it was, but once I started, I had to keep going.
Oh, I think it works. It's like a nice bold, a nice contrast with the gold yellow. And that's such a funny little expression on that eye, like the shark with the glasses. Why can't sharks have glasses? You know. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thanks so much. And we'll finish up with Jamie. If Jamie is there, gotta wait for her to come on screen. You never know. Jamie?
My thing doesn't work, you know, Tom. It's a struggle. It's like I'm touching all the stuff. I'm trying to show my video. Here we go. All right.
All right. Hang on.
There's the double chin and everything. All right. So I'm sorry I've been gone. I was on vacation. I took a vacation to the Isle of Self-Doubt. And now I'm back.
Wait, you can't see, it's blurry because of the background.
Oh shit, the background. Oh God, how do I take that off? Oh no, more
it's under
trouble.
video, where your video settings.
Background and effects. Hold on, Tom. I'm getting better. None, no background. Get out of here, background.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone.
All right, it's gone. All right, now I can't see anything. All right, whatever. But you can get out. All right, I can't see what I'm doing, but I have to read my own comic. All right, so I didn't know it was a holiday. I didn't know anything because I got here at 7:40. But I'm trying to participate, Tom. I'm trying to participate because I love your school and I love this class. All right, so here, what I picked was the day that the Titan went down. And if I could get this off of here, get off. Oh my God, because I can't see what I'm doing.
You can read it.
I just, all right, it's half of my screen is blocked by the potential backgrounds I could have. So I can't see what I'm doing. It's a total distraction. Anyway, okay, so I picked the day that the Titan went missing because I didn't know what the heck was going on. So my pattern was like ocean shit all around there. Nice. It's not a fully formed. It's 4 panels. This one doesn't work, but that's okay. All right, hold on. Now I can see what I'm doing, kind of. Okay, so here, the story of the Titan cuts through my depression, like the knife that Hooper uses to cut that shark open in Jaws, okay? The Titan, the people are lost at sea, the search continues. Then I go, oh my God, here's Rear Admiral John Mauger of the Coast Guard, who was the first guy I ever kissed. What in the heck is that? Like meta, totally surreal, whatever. Now I had the little thing going down, now it's going to because this one doesn't work. You need more panels, you need, not a fully formed thing. Anyway, it's heading down to the Titanic. I started imagining what's happening to them. You know, the 5 days they were missing or whatever. I think they got eaten by a megalodon. I imagine a giant squid coming to take them. We still don't know if that's true. That could be true. He could have squeezed them to death. Megalodon could have eaten them and then barfed out the parts. We don't know. Anyway, and they're heading down to the sad Titanic. And I just always imagine all the ghosts down there and the little shoes left by the people because that's all that remains. And there's little Jack and Rose. And she's like, I'm flying. He's like, I'm king of the world. They have X's on their eyes because they're dead. Okay. And then here is the final panel. This is how I almost, this is how he was the first guy that I kissed was, we were playing Spin the Bottle in Jenkintown, that town that the Goldbergs, that TV show was based on. And I was in love with Naked Rob, okay? And I went the bottle to go to Naked Rob, but no, it spins to John Mauger. And now I have to kiss him because you have to step up. Everyone is looking at you. And I'm horrified because it has this giant afro of like white American hair that's crazy and bizarre. And he's like, all right, this is cool. I get to kiss Jamie. And then, yeah, the end. That's the end of my comment.
Wow. That's really cool how you worked the the national event, but with your personal history. I mean, that must have just been wild to see him up there. I mean, you must have known he was in that position or
no, I knew I haven't. I mean, like I divorced myself from Jenkintown long ago because I was not I was one of those weird people that had like different groups, but it was a very cliquey, tiny town and I did not fit in. So when I saw him on TV, I was like, holy shit. And then my brother's like, Rear Admiral, that means cornhole. And I'm like, I'm going to have to get the Urban Dictionary to look that up, but that's pretty funny. And then The Simpsons, which my brother loves, had predicted this whole thing. So it became very meta. And just to see this guy every day on TV until they found what happened was very bizarre. And then I was like, geez, you really should have stayed with him because he's the Coast Guard. He gets to be on a boat every day. And clearly his life has gone much better than yours. The end.
Well, I think it's interesting also the ghost element because it is sort of like a ghost of your past, right? Like,
true.
Yeah, at the bottom of the.
Maybe it does work then.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Then, and then also just it's a nice using water. I feel like nature works really well with the patterns around the outside and everything. But it's a great comic, and I'm sorry it sounds like you've been having a hard time, but I'm glad you showed up and kicked
Thank
aside
you.
that self-doubt.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back. I love this place. And it was a great workshop. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jamie. And another reminder to post these on Instagram. I'll put that in the chat. And Mila is back. Or Mila, you can tell if it's Mila or Mila, but we will go to you right now.
Oh, sorry, it is Mila, and I'm trying to unblur my background. There we go. Okay, so so one of my projects is making a graphic novel based on Warley art. This is a previous picture from before, and I came in late. And then as soon as you began talking about patterns, I realized that I might actually have something to show, because it's all about shapes, and it has so many different swirly borders and stuff. And then I made my own little cartoon of two people, and she's saying, I came in late. What do I draw? And guy says, the girl says, what pattern do I use? And then she has like little sparkles around her hands. The guy says, that one. She says, I'd rather draw around ISBN codes because I just found out that a lot of artists can actually make the little designs around the ISBN barcodes.
Wow.
And then he's saying more ideas, and then Deborah saying, thank you for this prompt.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I love the patterns. First of all, the wavy patterns are really cool, and I like that big D shape in the middle is really interesting, and I like the meta aspect also of the comic, just of the experience. So that's great. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I slid into your DMs this night.
And we're going to go to back to Catherine.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, are we done?
Yeah, we're done. Catherine, thank you. That was so fun. And you had no reason to be afraid.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you all. This is great. Super fun.
Yeah, it got so many interesting things, right? We had like the Christmas, traditions and sharks, and I wrote some things down, right? We've got these family stories coming in, and the love languages and the lanterns, and so many interesting stories and things came out of just a simple prompt. That's why we love doing these. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna write down ideas too of the you all have inspired me and for different things. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that, which is always, I feel that way often when I go to these.
Yeah, me too. So I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to ask everybody to unmute themselves. I'll go to gallery view, and we'll just say thank you to Catherine and buy Catherine's book. I'm going to put that in the chat again, where you can find Catherine's work. You can unmute yourselves and say thank you. I think you can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Plum. Thank you, everyone.
Catherine, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
Helga.
so much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you all. It's
Morning.
nice to see so many people I know online. Oh, and Maria and Stacy. Wow, all these people. This is great.
All right.